Hey, yo, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I'm saying? As of this recording right now, it is 4:47 p.m. I mean, March 21st, 2025. You know what I mean? And right now, I'm just chilling. I'm about to go and wash my dishes and such because I just finished cooking. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really cook. I mean, like, it's Friday. Friday, yay! I just decided to just, heat up some food for, in the oven and stuff. And, I'm in my bathroom right now. So, yeah, I'm cooking. So I'm just, preparing some stuff until I step out for the night. You know what I'm saying? Some people are able to watch SmackDown, and such. I'm like, yo, how the fuck do I watch it? I can't watch it because, it's already fucking happening in other places. I don't got VPN. I don't got all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I wait until the shit come out on fucking, on USA. Or, like I said, I could just go on fucking, on Twitter and people just blow shit up. You know what I'm saying? So I also got some news that, Ray Phoenix officially signed with WWE. Oh, man. I know the sickles are gonna get mad. Yeah, they are. Oh yeah, they are. They are, son. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be pissed off. And speaking of the sickos, this dude Dave Meltzer, I swear, man, Dave Meltzer is just, I don't know what to say about dude, man. That dude is just, so this dude was talking about, the WWE Hall of Fame, right? And how WWE wants Sting to induct Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame. So this dude Meltzer comes out and, he says this little bullshit, right? He goes and he says, oh, if I'm AEW, I'm not loaning Sting out to induct Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame. He brings up two reasons, right? The first reason he brought up was the whole thing with Billy Gunn when DX got inducted to the Hall of Fame, right? Billy Gunn was one of the only people who was not part of that induction, right? This is like maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, 5-6 years ago. Now I think that was the same. No, that's not the same. No, that's definitely not. No. No, that was years later. I was saying about the Great Muta. The Great Muta didn't come into WWE until a couple of years later after that. But that was the year that, like I said, that was the year that DX got inducted to the Hall of Fame. And also remember, that's when Triple H took a major shot at AEW, calling it a pissant company, right? Which they are. Which they definitely are. And then he also brought this part up, right? He was like, oh, when Sting, with Sting's retirement match, right? When it was him and Darby against the Young Bucks, right? He was like, oh, nobody from WWE, came to Sting's retirement match, right? So why should AEW do business, in doing that? Why should AEW do business and having WWE bring Sting in to induct Lex Luger? This is coming from a guy who basically, is, like I said, he is an undercover AEW show. Because common sense would tell you that you really think that WWE is going to want to do business with someone like Tony Khan with the bullshit that Tony Khan has said. Remember, he disrespected Triple H. He disrespected, fucking Shawn Michaels. This was 2 years ago. Remember when he called them, he called them bald and all this other bullshit. Remember when Tony Khan was crashing out on social media? Remember that? Remember that, Dave? Huh? Remember that? So where the fuck is Dave Meltzer's argument from? Does he not forget about that? You know what I'm saying? Does Dave Meltzer? Is Dave Meltzer suffering from dementia? Like, seriously, because there's a lot of bullshit that Dave Meltzer says that it makes you question him. Like, Dave Meltzer already lost a shitload of credibility. He lost a lot. Damn, I'm gonna throw this pen. I can't fuck with this pen. He lost a lot of credibility. A lot. Especially the last 6 months or so. Right? You know, with his sources, I don't know if he's burnt out. I don't know. I don't know what Dave is going through these days. But he's the shit that he says again. It makes you scratch your fucking head. Like, this dude needs to retire. Like, this dude legit needs to retire. From journalism. But he can't, because this is all that Dave Meltzer knows. You know what I mean? And Sting should induct Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame. I said this a couple of days ago. Sting should be the one to induct Lex Luger into the Hall because, Sting and Lex were basically the yin and yang to each other. They were. They fucking were. They were the yin and yang to each other. You know what I mean? Just like, who can I compare this to? It's just like, how can I say this? Let me see. Just like Rock and Hogan. Rock and Hogan, you know what I mean? They were the yin and yang to each other, right? So, now Rock and Austin. No, yeah, Rock and Austin. Rock and Hogan. Sorry about that. Rock and Austin. Rock and Austin were the yin and yang to each other, right? So, Sting and Lex are basically that. I mean, they were, they had matches and they teamed up with each other. You know what I mean? So, why the fuck shouldn't Sting, be the one to induct Thing into the Hall of Fame? Why shouldn't he? It's only right. It's only fucking right. And you got this stupid fuck Dave Meltzer coming out saying, oh, he shouldn't do it. Oh, no, AEW shouldn't do it. If I'm AEW, I'm not allowing it to. But here's where Meltzer fucked up, right? And again, I also said this a couple days ago. I clearly said this a couple days ago. Remember when John Cena? Had his 20th anniversary, right? Remember? And they came with video packages. And who was in those video packages? Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Paul White, and I think Mark Henry. Mark Henry had to have been in there, I think. And guess what? Guess what all four of those men had in common during that time? They were employed by AEW. So why the fuck? Why the fuck wouldn't that happen? Why wouldn't that happen? This is just Meltzer pissed off, because, AEW is just getting shit canned over and over and over and over again, while WWE just continues to just rise to the fucking top with no signs of slowing down. And Meltzer's pissed off about it. He's mad. He's fucking pissed. He's tight as shit. He's tight as a motherfucker. But hey, listen, this is what happens, right? This is exactly what happens. But he does. But one thing I noticed too, he didn't mention anything about how there should be restrictions, with what happened on Wednesday with the fucking Jon Moxley Adam Copeland match, right? He didn't fucking mention anything about that, right? You ain't say shit about that, right, Dave? Huh, Dave? You know what I'm saying? You ain't say anything about that, right? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on, B. Like, it's you gotta have common sense here, Dave. You know what I'm saying? And again, AEW, I mean, I don't know if AEW is gonna allow it. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna allow Sting to get in, to induct Thing into the Hall of Fame. I don't know. But it makes a lot of fucking sense, I will say this, though. And matter of fact, I know. I did say a video about Tony Khan being petty, right? If Tony Khan is able to do it, right, which I doubt he is, if he's able to do it, then what will happen is, okay, he'll start opening that door of forgiveness, towards WWE and towards Triple H and towards Shawn Michaels and all that other good stuff, which makes me wonder, does Tony Khan want to work for WWE? Because it seems like, he can't live, he can't go on without WWE. Like, he needs WWE. He needs WWE
to keep AEW relevant. You know what I'm saying? But fuck Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer have nothing to do with this. Dave Meltzer could suck a dick. You know what I mean? But I'm about to be out, guys. I don't know if I'm going to make another video tonight. I don't. You know what I mean? Because there's no news. I don't got no news and such. I don't have anything. You know what I mean? Like, nothing's been going on. No free agent signings. No nothing. But we'll see. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.